Tucker Carlson was sitting here 2 weeks ago interviewing you. He's gone. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm surprised. He's a very good person, a very good man, and very talented, as you know, and he had very high ratings. So we're just learning about it almost as we speak. You and I just said, wow, that was something. That's a big one. I don't know if it was voluntary or was somebody fired. But I think Tucker's been terrific. He's been, especially over the last year or so, he's been terrific to me.
So that is from yesterday. And look, it was close to the news coming out, but I love him like tripping over himself, pretending that like, we don't know, was it involuntary or did Tucker just abruptly leave without a final show and all that just for funsies? No, he was fired. We now know this, but Trump there, weirdly going out of his way to like be shocked and appalled that the guy who thinks of him as a demonic force, a destroyer who he hates passionately, was doing a hell of a job. He also bleated the fact that Tucker Carlson would no longer be on Fox News is a big blow to cable news, capitalized, and to America. Tucker was insightful, interesting, and ratings gold. He will be greatly missed. Well, he was ratings gold. I think interesting is fair, okay? Insightful, maybe, in what he revealed about media and about the right-wing audience. Greatly missed, probably. I've seen a lot of messages online of people who do miss him. Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeted cable news is about to be taught a powerful lesson after Fox News caved to the woke mob and fired Tucker Carlson. Is that what they did? I don't think that's what they did. Americans no longer blindly watch the news like they did decades ago. They only watch the ones who have courage to tell the truth. Americans are about to quit watching. That might be true, but I also love her pretending that we haven't gotten a crash course in how much Tucker Carlson willingly lies to his audience over the past few months. But that was her. We've got Glenn Beck saying, I think that this will kill Fox. Lauren Boebert says, wherever Tucker Carlson goes, America will follow. And so they're in cope mode. But David, unlike those people, unlike me, you actually have had experience with him. So I imagine you were even more shocked when the news broke.
Well, I wasn't shocked per se that eventually Tucker met his fate and they had to leave Fox News, because I think Rupert Murdoch really wanted to, at 92 years old, change directions. And this was sort of a convenient time to get rid of Tucker Carlson and maybe use that lawsuit from Abby Grossberg against him. What strikes me though is, and to everybody who doesn't know my background, I worked with Tucker Carlson at MSNBC. We had been friends before that. He had spent some time in Little Rock just before I spent some time in Little Rock in the 1990s. We always had that, and I always liked him. I substituted on our shows. We had our disagreements politically, journalistically, and he, a couple, maybe 6-7 years ago, suggested to me when I saw him in Cleveland, he says, "Oh, maybe I can grease the wheels for you to go back to Fox News," and I burst out laughing, like, "No, that's okay." But that's the kind of guy Tucker was to me. He was willing to sort of be helpful. But along the way, I always knew that Tucker was so bitter and so angry about the way he had been humiliated at CNN with Jon Stewart and fired, and the way he had been humiliated by MSNBC when he got fired in 2008. And so in my mind, Tucker was like, okay, I'm gonna throw out all the old rules. If I get another chance, and he got one at Fox, I'm gonna throw out all the journalism, and I'm just gonna do whatever I can to promote Tucker Carlson, to push the envelope, to get as powerful and get as many views as possible. And so he found that formula, and he's a bright guy, and he's a good broadcaster, and he kept being able to sort of push it and farther and farther. But in the end, it was sort of his own undoing, because apparently what happened at the end was that he said some things that were found out in the discovery of this Dominion lawsuit in which he was disparaging his bosses. And that's one thing that Rupert Murdoch doesn't like. If Tucker Carlson came across as more powerful than Rupert Murdoch, then he had to go. And so I can only imagine, for people who hate Tucker Carlson, you're gonna be satisfied to hear that I think this is crucially, I think this is brutal to Tucker. I think his ego is taking a huge hit by him being fired. He doesn't really care so much about the money. He just wants the power and the prestige, and he doesn't have that now. He may have that in streaming, but I imagine he's probably taking this pretty hard.
Yeah, probably. This is to the TD. I don't know how much we can zoom in, because I'm about to play the tiniest violin that has ever been played on the news live before. No, Tucker! He's feeling bad. He's feeling down. He's feeling a tiny fraction of the pain and suffering he has caused so many people over so many years. And when he finally gets past how bad he's feeling, he will go back to being another rich a-hole who can do whatever he wants and will always fail upward. But anyway,
well, and look, that gets to, I mean, to all of us who were once friends with Tucker, that gets, I mean, we didn't recognize the person that Tucker had become. And for a lot of people who used to like Tucker personally, I mean, it was, it was so frustrating to all of us that how could this guy with all of his talent, with all of his smarts, I mean, I don't think Tucker believed most of the crap that he was spewing on the air the last several years, but somehow he was able to do it. And what sort of strange person, what do you have to become in order to continually lie to your audience, to know that you're lying, to know that you're manipulating them? How do you do that night after night? What's wrong with you to make you think, well, this is what I have to do to play the game? I mean, that's sick. It's a sickness for sure. And his audience got played.
Yeah, and look, I think he's one of the worst examples of a thing that very much exists. He maybe moved kind of, not even the farthest, but like succeeded the most in this pursuit of right-wing approval and right-wing money, but he's not the only one. We've seen other people who have wildly changed their positions in pursuit of right-wing viewers and money. It's a thing, okay? It doesn't help America. It does seem to help their bottom line. That's why so many people do it so vigorously.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.